What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my Twisted Life with Poetry. I am Poetry. You are here for a review of the TV show Manifest, which now airs on NBC on Monday nights. I was not going to recap and review this show. I was, but then I wasn't. So I'm just going to talk briefly about the first 2 episodes. And because a couple of my subscribers are asking me to review it, then I'll give it a go. But I'm telling y'all, I'm still kind of like on the up and up about the show altogether. It doesn't seem to get a lot of fan buzz, and I wonder if it's for the same reasons why I'm like on the fence about this particular show. Before we get even started, this is not a black eye. It looks like I got a black eye on camera. I am tired. I've been working 10-hour shifts since I've been here, and I've had a day off of work. Today is my really first official day off of work. I had another day off, and I went to a funeral in St. Louis, and I'm just getting dark circles under my eyes. My vitamin D is low. All it is. That's all it is. That's all it is. So anyway, Manifest. This show, when I first saw the previews, it reminded me of the TV show Lost. It took me a long time to get into Lost. I refused to watch it because I thought it was Survivor, the reality TV show. And then when I finally watched Survivor, I love that shit too. So yeah. So when I saw Manifest come on, I was like, oh, okay, that's reminding me of Lost. Basically, these passengers got on this plane back in 2013. The plane took off. It landed the next day because they had some type of turbulence. They was rerouted and landed the next day coming from Jamaica. And it's 5 years later. It's technically 2018 in current day time. So the passengers on this plane think they have only had an overnight flight. They think it's still 2013. Nobody has aged. Nobody feels anything different. But when they land and get off the plane, they find out that it is 2018. 5 years and a few months later than the time that plane took off. So that part intrigued me. I was like, okay, what they finna do with this? That sound like Lost. Remember Lost? They was lost for 5 years. They made it back home. If you never seen Lost, go watch all the whole season. Season 7 was the worst season to me of Lost. And what got me about that was the fact that they started trying to incorporate too much God and religious beliefs into that season. And that is exactly what this show is doing starting off. And that irks me. I hate to see a TV show that purposefully tries to push a religious belief or a belief in God into the show. All shows have some type of connection with religion and with God, I believe. But they just seem to more naturally let it flow. With the exception of Greenleaf, it's about a church. Of course, that's going to be about God. But a show like this dealing, I guess because it's dealing with a phenomenon that, of course, it has to be of God, of a miracle of some sort. But I just don't like the way that they incorporate it. They don't weave it into it more naturally for me. So that is what really throws me about this show. Because like anytime that there's a response to why did something happen, it must be God. It must be God. Well, I don't believe that. Well, it must be God. Like it must be God. It must have to be said at least 6 or 7 times per episode. That bothers me. So let me try to go through the characters. We have Ben Stone, his sister, Michaela Stone, who I cannot stand. I'm not sure exactly what Ben does for a living, but Ben is a father. He's a husband. He has a wife and 2 children. One of his children, what is the little boy's name? Cal. He's on the flight with him and Michaela. He has some type of rare cancer, and I think they were just taking him. I don't know. Maybe I missed that part. I think they were just taking him to Jamaica for whatever reason, so he could live life because he doesn't have long left to live. Michaela, I'm not sure exactly again why she was in Jamaica. but she has a boyfriend back home that she wants to marry, and so she's about to. I think something went wrong. She's an ex-police officer. Well, she's not an ex-police officer. She's a New York police officer, and something happened on the job where it affected her relationship. Somebody died, and she feels, or they tried to make her responsible for it, or she feels responsible for it, but it affected her relationship. But he wanted to marry her, the boyfriend, so she was coming back to tell him that she was getting married. Like I say, Ben was having some troubles with his wife, but he was trying to, have his family on the mend. Things, they was having some issue, but not really, not much, you know what I'm saying? And it mainly had to do with the son, Cal, dealing with the fact that their son's been sick. So they're on the plane. I forgot how many other passengers it was. And then you have, so the daughter, Ben's daughter, name is Grace. She is Cal's twin. So you got to imagine that when the plane lands and Cal is still 11 years old and his twin sister's now 16, that what the fuck happened, you know what I'm saying? So his wife is Grace. And then you have Michaela's ex-boyfriend, like I said, he's a detective too. His name is Jared Vasquez. Her best friend, I can't remember her best friend's name. I can't remember the best friend's name. But her best friend ends up, I'll get to that in a minute. Then you have another character named Sanvi. Sanvi is pretty much the only character that I really like so far. I mean, truth be told, Ben is alright, but Ben is annoying. But Sanvi, she was a young blossoming doctor who was into cancer research, and she developed this just gene or this procedure to help cancer patients out. So she's on this plane as well. So basically what happens, okay, so when their plane lands, they get off the plane, they redirect it to a military base, and the chief comes out and tells them, y'all have been gone for 5 years, and y'all haven't aged one day. Well, I was like, is this what you tell them when they first step off the plane? Y'all been gone for 5 years. And everybody looked the same. They like, nah, that's impossible. This got to be a joke. We being punked, you know what I'm saying? I just thought that was so weird how he told them that. One, that would create a panic to me. But I guess to get it all out and pull off the Band-Aid at one time, I guess that's what his whole purpose was. So they interviewed the people. They ran them through blood tests. I'm not sure exactly how long they were there. But since everybody tested out to be the exact same people they were when they left, they let them go home and reunite with their families, which I thought was so odd as well. You clearly see these people have left, came back. It's 5 years later, ain't nobody aged. You do some blood work on them, say, oh, they're the same people they were when they left. They fine, good head, go home. It makes no sense. They held ET longer. I was like, really? Y'all gonna quarantine them? Keep them much, much longer than they'd have been there forever. Forever, ever. Because there's been nothing like this in history that they have documented. There's such a phenomenon that y'all just gonna let them go home. They might could be aliens. They could be anything. Y'all don't know what they are, but y'all let them go home. So I was just deeply confused by that. I was also confused about the fact that where y'all get all this work. These people were all on this flight. Everybody had blood samples to test from. They've been storing your blood samples in the hospital every time you go or something like that. Well, everybody was able to be tested in some kind of form or fashion. Say, oh, everybody on this plane is good. Go ahead. There should have been at least one or maybe two people that could not have been identified. That would have been good for me. I would have loved that. Okay, so they let them go home. Michaela was like, where's Jared? When the family showed up, Jared didn't come. They found out, Jared, Michaela, and Ben found out that their mama died. So she's not there. So she's, but Jared, her boyfriend, ended up marrying her best friend. So that's what happened to Michaela. But Michaela, let me tell y'all, I'm superficial. I can't stand her face. I hate to look at her face on camera. She has this one-dimensional range of emotions that it annoys me to see her on camera. I hate to watch a show that I can't stand one of the main characters. And I can't stand to look at her. She is a terrible actress to me. She reminds me of the girl who played Katniss in the Mockingjay, or what is that called? Hunger Games. She reminds me of her. She doesn't know how to show emotion on her face. When she cries, it's the same. When she laughs, it's the same. When she smiles, it's the same. She has like a permanent resting bitch face for every scene. Let me get it. This her happy face. This her sad face. This her shocked face. Everything is the same. I can't stand it. I don't like to look at her. Y'all know, people who know me through YouTube know that I will not watch certain YouTubers because I can't stand their face. I can't stand their voice. I can't watch it. It's just, I'm just that way. I'm just that way. Call me superficial. I'm superficial. I can't stand to watch her. I do not like Michaela. Like I say, Ben's character is annoying because, I don't know, something about him that's just, I don't know, not sitting with me. I don't know what it is about the characters. I don't like any other characters other than Sanvi. And they didn't care enough about her to even give her a last name. She just Sanvi. She like Madonna. She like Prince. She like Cher. She ain't got a last name. We got Michaela Stone, Ben Stone, Ray Stone, Jerry Vasquez, Olive Stone, Cal Stone, and Sanvi. All the other people that was on the plane are pretty much extras. Every once in a while, they're going to have an interaction with somebody of those main people, but they extras. That's pretty much what they are. So we're really just focusing on the Stone family and Sanvi. That's it. That's it. I would rather have it been more of a focus of maybe pick 2 or 3 families from that flight, or individuals from that flight, and then focus on each of those lives, and then have those crash moments. Because basically what we're going to be having is crash moments through the whole show. If you ever watched the TV show or the movie Crash, we're going to have a lot of crash moments. Like I said, the government let them go. They went back home. It seems that Ben was the only one who had a wife that ran into his arms and like, she's home. Like, she waited on him for 5 years. No, she didn't. She didn't wait. Like I said, I'm going to mix both of these 2 episodes together. She didn't wait on him. She got a whole nother boo in the wings. I don't know if she married or she just has another guy in the wings, but she has moved on with her life. And the daughter is like, you better tell her, mama. You need to tell daddy what's going on. It's unfair. You need to tell him. And so Grace is struggling with letting Ben know that she done got another man. Okay, she got another man. So basically what's going on is the people that's on this plane are hearing voices in their heads. The voice is usually in their own voice. I don't know if they're supposed to be God or who it's supposed to be. It's unexplained phenomenon again at this point. But they're hearing voices, and the voices are giving them instructions on what to do. It's just not interesting enough for me to talk about, really. But okay, so Michaela and Ben, they out by Michaela's walking or running or doing something one day, and she goes by this little junkyard, and she hears "set them free." Like, what? Set them free. And she look around, ain't nobody there but the dogs. Set them free. And she run on, because these some little vicious barking dogs. Like, you know, why am I going to set these vicious dogs out in town? Set them free. But when she gets back home, she's trying to get her job back at the NYPD. But of course, you got to go through medical evals and stuff like that, because you've been missing for 5 years. We just can't put you back on the street. And so she goes home, and she keeps hearing this, set them free, set them free, set them free. And she's telling Ben that, you know, she's hearing voices, and Ben's like, don't tell nobody that shit. we've been missing for 5 years. Don't you think they watching us? They got their owlers. They didn't just let us go for nothing. I'm like, okay, at least somebody making some sense. They didn't just let us go for nothing. And so he's like, don't tell nobody ever that you said that you ain't heard no damn voices. Okay, but apparently he hearing voices too. Because later on that evening, him and Michaela both ended up at the same junkyard with the set them free in their heads. They cracked open the doggone gate, let the dogs run out. Okay. So it's a federal offense to break into somebody's property like that. Of course, there was cameras around. Michaela and her brother about to get in trouble. So Jared got to go rescue them and get them out of trouble. And they thought it was a good idea to bring Michaela back there to apologize to the owner. The owner wasn't tripping off of it. He was like, all right, cool, no problem, no problem, no problem. But Michaela is still here and set them free, set them free, 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 set them free. She's still hearing that in her head. So she decides to follow the voice. As she walks around the yard while Jared is in there talking to the owner, the set them free gets louder and louder and louder. And she ends up back out there with the dumb dogs and then one of those train things. I forgot what those things called. That they kept Rick Grimes in when he was with the doggone peoples. The junkyard people, they had them carried. Yeah, they in one of them things. And it's a lady and a little girl that I guess apparently has been kidnapped by this man. It didn't explain exactly who these people were to this man, whether this is his ex-wife and his daughter, whether he just kidnapped a random woman and her child, or was he was sex trafficking. And we didn't know what exactly that was about, but he kidnapped them. And Michaela cracked the case and set them free. So the voices was gone out of her head. And then her and Jerry have this whole conversation about God and why these voices are talking to them. Okay, so Sandy, when she went back to work, she found out that the research that she had started on back when she got on that plane, her research paper that she submitted over to them, they have actually been using her techniques to help cancer patients. It's working, right? So 5 years later, she should be a millionaire. But, you know, she wasn't there to take the credit for because they presumed them all to be dead. It's been 5 years, this plane has been missing. So it just so happens that the type of research that she was doing could save little Cal's life. And so Cal is one of her patients. And so this is, like I said, this is one of the first crash moments. So Ben and Grace go in with Cal and learn that there's a treatment that can be done, you know, to help their child. But at first, the research doctor was like, no, we can't do that. They don't fit the protocol for the study because, you know, his platelets or whatever happened changed. He didn't fit the bill anymore because he'd been gone 5 years and his diagnosis hasn't changed at all and he don't meet the age requirement. He really would be 16 at this time if things had happened. But since it's her research is like, oh no, we gonna do it. He gonna be a patient. So they finna try to cure him of whatever it is he got using her research. Like I said, crash moment happening here. Like I say, Michaela, they end up giving her job back because she set the people free. And I just didn't, I'm sorry, I just don't have an interest. I don't have an interest enough to talk about it. I have an interest enough to watch it. It's something about it that's grabbing me, but it's not. And I can't pinpoint it. Y'all got to tell me in the comment sections, if y'all watching the show, what y'all love about it so much. What's intriguing y'all? What's grabbing y'all? What's holding y'all? The next episode, we dealt with the Jamaican guy from the plane. When he left, his son was 13. Left them without a father. They were immigrants to the country. He was here on a working visa, but since his daddy gone and his son ain't supposed to be here either, well, he ended up working for a place and ended up in jail for stealing, cleaning out the inventory at this diamond store, what have you. And the guy kept saying he needed help because they went back to the place, whatever, you know. Somehow all the people on the plane a few of the people on the plane got called back to the hangar. And when they got there to the hangar, the plane blew up. So the plane, there's no more evidence to test that they could test on the plane. They had already went through it, you know, and couldn't find anything. So they was about to take it apart piece by piece. But the plane is now blown up. They can't test shit. So, of course, since 20 people showed up to the plane, they really got their good eye on them. They were questioning, interviewing them. And Michaela, you know, I'm NYPD. Y'all can't hold us. And they said, y'all can't talk to nobody. Don't talk to media. Don't talk to your family. Don't talk to your friends. Of course, one particular lady went to go talk to her friend. She went to go talk to the cameras. She let everybody know I ain't gonna be a secret, right? Look, Hal was drawing pictures of the family. He got this shadow in the back, always lurking in the background of the picture. First, I was thinking the shadow was the man that Grace had in her life, but they have made this shadow something extra on the show. Because the lady on the camera, she was talking, and the shadow was following her. It was appearing in places that she was at, and then all of a sudden, kaboom, boom, 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 she's dead. Of course she was going to die. She the one that's on camera talking. But I still thought that was stupid. The way they killed her, gunshots directly to the head. You can see all the blood splatter. So it was straight to the head. She should have just went missing. Because if somebody researches and see that she's dead, they gonna connect the two. They gonna connect the dots. Come on now. She just said that they don't want me to talk. The government don't want me to talk. I think they watching me. She just said that on camera, on TV, on the news. And now she ended up dead. Come on now. Our government just make people disappear. Okay. And then come with a backstory about her. She'd be having handwritten notes saying why she couldn't live no more. And I'm thinking, why the voices in her head didn't tell her, didn't warn her about somebody coming to harm her? If the voices in the head is supposed to represent God, couldn't the voices warn her? You in trouble, girl. Trouble. Well, Michaela, this, like I said, the Jamaican guy, Ben is the one that kept hearing this music playing in his head. And he's walking down the streets in New York. You hear that music? You hear that music? Everybody like, boy, no, I don't hear no music. Well, he followed the music. I want to say he was in Times Square, and he rode up on the musician playing it, and it happens to be the Jamaican guy. He might not be Jamaican. I'm just going to say he's West Indian. He rode up on the West Indian guy. And he was playing the music. He couldn't figure out where he's playing it from because he kept hearing it in his head, too. And he just basically turned to Ben and said, I need your help. I need your help. You were on the plane. I need your help. Why would he go to Ben, of all people? Your sister is a cop. She said she was a cop, so I need help with the police. Why you just didn't go to her? Why Michaela ain't being drawn to him? Well, anyway, Ben talked Michaela into getting him into Rikers Island to go see his son. His son getting his ass whooped, basically getting fucked up at Rikers Island. So, of course, Daddy feels responsible, like I couldn't be there for my son. Tell me what happened, though. His son, he talks about him going to work for this place without yada. So, Ben and the guy, who I don't even think they gave a name, I don't remember if they did, they go over to the jeweler. The jeweler's like, you got your nerve coming from here after your son cleaned me out. My son is a good man. Is this, is that. The whole conversation. So he back and forth in the Rikers, visiting the son, trying to get information. They're going to try to help him get out of jail, trying to help him, get free. But the son was stealing shit. I don't think he was stealing from his job, but that was how he was getting by in life, was robbing and stealing, because he didn't know no other way, because his daddy was gone. He had to take care of himself. So, that's how that story was going. So, like I said, Grace is still not wanting to tell Ben about this other guy. She on the phone with the other guy, like, I'm going to tell him soon. It's only been a few days. Give me some time. And Olive, the twin sister, still like, Mama, no, come on, you got to tell him. You got to tell him. Well, look, Hal is having struggles with his clothing. The things that Mama was able to give him, they fit too tight. They don't fit. He don't like the way they look, because he's still this little 11-year-old child. Now, he had an initial shock and ran away when he first saw his 16-year-old twin sister. But other than that, they have not focused on the fact that, come on now, they should have some type of interaction between her and him. Some kind of conversations of her and him about, we ain't the same age no more. We ain't twins no more. We ain't identical twins anymore. We was never identical. They was fraternal because one was a boy and one was a girl, but still. We ain't really twins no more as far as age is concerned. You 5 years younger. Most twins would be like 5 minutes apart. No, they 5 years apart now. So I think that they should have more interaction with them. But the whole show is focusing on Olive's relationship with Ben. Olive don't seem like she want to be around her daddy. And I'm like, what was wrong with their relationship? Why Olive don't want to be around her daddy? He's like, I just want to get to know you. She was. Anyway, so Olive had the bright idea. She said she decided to go store all of their things away. Grace had put it out on the curbside. And, yes. So I got kicked out of my studio, so I'm gonna go through this real fast. Basically, Olive took Ben into the storage place where she had all their things, and Ben was able to identify the belongings of the other man. And I think that was Olive's whole purpose, so her daddy could see it. So he now goes back to Grace and says, I understood you moved on, this, that, and other, but I want to save our marriage. I want us to be together. I don't want to lose you. I want to keep you. And somehow, some kind of way, in the storage facility, Ben started hearing the music again. So he following the music or following the words, following the sounds, and he rolls up on a stored room where the jeweler's son has a storage, and he has all the stolen property that that man's son has been accused of. And so now they have set another person free. They was able to get him locked up and get the West Indian guy's son free. And like I said, that's pretty much the whole episode. I'm not gonna go into it any more, a little further, because like I said, it's already a 25-minute video. I got cooked out in my studio. My mama had to use the bathroom. So I will talk to y'all later. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the show. Leave your comments down in the comment section. Appreciate you for being here. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Peace.